Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
Michelle?
So?
I have a problem.
Okay.
And I've been told it's important to admit when you have a problem. I have moles or gophers really, really bad.
How is that a problem?
Because they're tunneling through my yard and causing these molehills that are making me fall and hurt my ankle.
Just like put a cone so you know where it is.
The problem is that I have to put a cone every time I hurt my ankle, I guess.
No, you just walk the whole yard. You find all the holes. You go on your hands and knees.
And I ask the mole, please don't make any more holes.
Yes.
These are the acceptable amount of holes.
Mm-hmm. Create a law that says no more holes.
When digging holes is illegal, only outlaws will dig holes. Look, no one wants to take your holes away. We just want we want common sense hole reform. That's what I tell the mole, right? We
exactly.
just want sensible hole control.
Exactly. I don't know why any of this is a problem. Anyway, sorry.
No. So I'm trying to figure out what to do about them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to kill them.
Yeah.
That's like the thing I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And luckily there are like lots and lots and lots of options that are not killing them.
Good. I think I know how to not kill them. But what are the options that you found?
Well, okay. So the problem is every mole, what do you call it? Every thing to get rid of moles, to scare them away, to whatever, is like, maybe it works. And like half the internet absolutely positively says it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the first one I went with was the noise control.
That don't really work. Yeah.
Did it work?
I don't think so.
About half of the people I talked to said it did. And Rachel's uncle, who lives on a farm, swears by them. So...
Sorry, I don't want to forget what I was going to say, so I'm writing it down, because it just took me a while to think about it. Okay. There we go. I underline it.
Maybe we should get you a notepad.
No, I have one over there, but it's too far away.
But so I installed the 2 spikes, and for those who do not know, those who are not in the mole know, there's this claim that moles and gophers are very sensitive to certain frequencies of sound. So if you stick these stakes into the dirt, every 30 seconds they let out this very specific sound into the ground.
That's
and
terrible.
especially if you have clay, like if you have clay ground, which I do, it reverberates through the whole thing, and it can potentially, one stake is supposed to cover like 1,500 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I put one on the far side of my yard and one in the flower bed in front of my house. So they should overlap a lot. The funny thing, the moles are not at all in my backyard. They're only in my front yard. I think the soil is looser in my front yard. We have done stuff to it, like we've had to plant grass, we've pulled trees out. I'm guessing that's just made the soil looser, because there are no molehills whatsoever in my backyard, like not a single one. So this year, thanks to lockdown and everything, I've become a very involved yard keeper. So I'm noticing all these goddamn molehills when I mow. I'm just like, what the? Oh, and I didn't know what it was at first. I just saw this big pile of dirt. I was afraid it was like a nest or something. I got really scared. I was afraid it was going to hurt it.
Oh, no.
And then it was just a molehill.
And then you're like, I'll just hurt it. It's fine.
Good. I watch the world burn. But so Yeah, so I installed these thingies. The only problem is that they take up to 14 days to be effective.
The moles just like they can only take so much kind of deal. Like they think, it's gonna go away, it's gonna go away, and then
I don't know if it's that. I'm guessing that it's not like it hurts them. I'm guessing it just makes it unpleasant.
Mhm.
So they keep hanging out there, and then eventually they're going to be like, we're going to go to this yard. It's way less annoying. That's what I'm guessing is supposed to happen. The other option is these pellets that you can sprinkle all over your lawn that penetrate into the dirt. And they're like made of castor oil and stuff. It's like all natural stuff. And the only problem with that is so your note was castor oil.
Yeah.
Good. Well, they sell these granules of it. Although there was another another holistic treatment for moles at the Home Depot. And on the front it says 80% dried blood. And I was just like, okay, I don't know that I need to be involved with this. Thank you, but I'll politely decline.
What kind of blood?
I didn't say.
I guess if it was like mole blood, it would be disturbing for them.
I guess so. Maybe they don't like the smell of blood. I mean, who does like the smell of blood? Lawyers? Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna try the steaks, which, like I said, literally on the internet, it's literally like half of the people are like, they work great. The other half are like, they don't work at all. And if that doesn't work, it's just that the castor oil, well, the pellets that have castor oil in them, it's like a 3-step process. Honestly is a lot more work than doing the steaks.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd try the steaks first.
Okay.
Because I just want them to go away. And if you go to like hardcore homeowner sites, they're like, kill them. That's literally what the hardcore homeowner says. They just like set a trap and kill them.
Yeah.
Make them die.
Yeah. That's
Kill.
good.
Kill. That's like what I read because I don't want to kill them.
They're cute.
I already had a bad experience with trying to kill a mouse in my apartment in New Jersey, and that was just a horrible experience. And I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill anymore, Michelle.
Good.
I don't want to kill anymore. Maybe. But no. So you were gonna mention castor oil. Do you have like an experience with moles?
I think my dad had voles or something, and I'm pretty sure he used castor oil, maybe even those pellets, and it did work.
Okay.
So
it did.
Yeah, unless none of this actually happened, but I definitely know about it from somewhere, and I do feel like it happens.
And that's what really matters at the end of the day. How you feel is what truly matters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying my best. I was not prepared for this mole problem. We've never had them. But the weird thing is we have like, we have tons of gophers. There's a school near me. And the gophers are like out of control. I mean, there are like gopher holes all over right up against the building. Everywhere there are gophers. And whenever I take Henwolf tries to catch herself a gopher.
So no, I don't like that.
I don't know what she would do if she caught it, to be honest, because she's not really much of a killer. Chicano, I think, would kill one. Chicano just has that look in his eyes where he's like, I'm going to kill something and act cute while I do it, because that's how much I don't understand.
Oh, God. No, he knows what he's doing.
But yeah, so that's been like one of the big events has been dealing with the mole issue.
That's important. I still think
you should take care of it.
I still think you should just leave them and see if they come out and take pictures of them and see if you can like pet them.
Try to become friends with them?
Yeah.
That's not they're tearing up my yard.
Okay. I mean, I guess I understand.
I need my yard to be okay. Why do you not care about my struggles?
I have a hole in my backyard that I don't know what it is. It's been there like since I moved in, so I don't know if it's like a rabbit hole or a foxhole, or I don't think that like them guys, opossums live in holes, but I don't know. So I don't know what it is, and I do trip over it all the time. So
I think possums are too mysterious to truly know where they live.
Maybe.
But no, it's been a pain, and I wanted to ignore it. It's just that there, like every time I mow, there are like 3 or 4 more big molehills. It's pretty bad. And my next door or my across the street neighbor told me their backyard is completely torn up. Like the grass is dead in most of it and stuff from all these tunnels.
That's so cool.
So I don't think you'd think it was cool if your lawn was dead.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know. Like, I guess I could do something else with my lawn instead of having grass. Because, like, you know, I don't really have grass. I have, like, weeds that, like, just grow in lawn form. So it doesn't actually matter what happens to them.
I mean, I suppose I can see where you're getting at.
Yeah. I try to keep them looking nice. So.
Oh, you try real hard.
No, I really don't.
No, not at all, actually. Well, I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of the moles. And then last time we talked about when we were talking, Henwolf was in surgery. Well, she was out of surgery, but I hadn't picked her up yet.
Yeah.
Whoa. What an experience this has been. She's insane.
What is the problem?
Well, she's got a big giant cone, but her head is like the size of your head. Mm-hmm. So the cone is just gargantuan. And literally in the first 5 or 6 minutes she was home, she just knocked everything over. Everything on the coffee table, both of the TV trays I had up, and all the movies on my entertainment center. Everything was just knocked right down.
Yeah, that's not good.
And a friend of mine saw her, like, you know, zooming through things and getting the cone stuck. And he was like, oh, maybe she just can't walk backwards. And I was like, I have watched her walk backwards. She just can't be bothered. It gets caught on something, so she just forces her way through it. Like, screw this. Like, I'm going anyway. And the cone is now, it's been 1 week as we were recording this. It's been 1 week since she came back from the vet. And that cone is so full of stress fractures. Like, it's got little stress bends all over it. I'm wondering if it's going to make it the full 2 weeks. Because she's a juggernaut.
I would like it to just kind of like disintegrate, you know? It would be kind of cool.
Yesterday she got caught coming in from outside and ripped it halfway off, and I had to refasten it.
Oh, wow.
And the worst part is it's so damaged, she's not trying to get out. She's just trying to live her, you know, juggernaut insanity dog life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going interestingly, to say the least. But also we had some mishaps. Her pain medicine made her sick. Which was worrisome, so we had to stop giving her pain medicine. She didn't even seem to notice. This dog is terrifying. Apparently, she doesn't know pain and doesn't care about pain. So, but yeah, when they handed me handed me, kind of. I mean, she's big, but when they gave me her back and she had the cone on, I'm driving away, and literally as I'm driving away, I'm like, hey, how long does she need to wear this cone? So I call them and I'm like, nobody told me how long she's wearing the cone. And they were like, oh, well, have you scheduled a time for her to have the staples taken out? Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes. And she was like, okay, well, that's when the cone should be removed. And I was like, that's in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And the lady was like, yeah. And I was like, she has to wear this thing for 2 weeks. And she was like, well, unless you can come up with a way to keep her from chewing on the stitches, then you can absolutely take it off. And I was like, oh, God. And then she comes home with the cone, and all it does is scare Chicano shitless. He was so afraid of her and the cone.
That poor guy.
I know. So it's been a week full of dog stuff. I think the first 3 days, not only was Henwolf not quite herself, but Chicano was just glued to me in fear of this coned monster rampaging through the house.
I mean, doesn't he understand that it's his friend with like a weird collar thing on?
Don't you think that's kind of scary? Like if your friend just walked up to you with a big collar, it was just like, "Hey, sup?" Wouldn't you be like, not much?
Well, I might at least try to figure out. No, I'd probably pretend like everything was fine. Yeah.
while you like covertly call the police.
Mm-hmm. No, because I probably just don't remember them having a big cone that they always have.
Okay, that's fair. Well, he got over it pretty quick. But then, so, I've had Chicano about a year and 2 or 3 months. Mm-hmm. And the other night, it was a cool night out, so I opened my windows. And then somebody very nearby started setting off fireworks. And, the 4th of July is coming up and stuff, so that stuff happens. But he got scared really bad and started like attaching to me. And that's what he does. He doesn't like whine or hide. He'll walk right up to you and just like lean into you with all of his body weight. Like he just has to be really close to you. And that's fine. Sweet. But then a boom was so loud that it made me jump and it made Henwolf bark, who doesn't usually react to that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh my God. And he just started shaking a little bit. So I had to lift him up and lay him on my chest on the couch and just like hold him tight until he stopped panting so hard. So poor guy, he's a very tender dog. He had a rough time. So I'm going to take him to the vet in the next week or so and see if they can give me some kind of an anxiety medication for the 4th of July, just so that he doesn't have to spend the whole time in complete and utter fear.
Yeah.
But I also, much like the mole repellent, I researched dog anxiety medicine, stuff that isn't just Xanax.
Oh, yeah. And it's all like,
well, and there's this thing called Celio, which people rave about it because it's a anti-anxiety for dogs that's not a full-blown sedative. So supposedly your dog will act kind of normal. Like your dog will be like, "Hey, I'm feeling all right. I'm just kind of chill." And people rave about it, and it's really easy to give them because you just inject it into between their gum and their cheek, and no, like in a syringe with no needle. You just inject it.
Okay. You just like, okay.
No skin penetration. You just squirt it right into between their gum and their cheek, and it just absorbs through there.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Which is real easy for a dog like Chicano who won't take a pill ever. I literally, to give him pills, I have to grind them in a mortar and pestle till the powder is so fine that I can mix it with wet food, which he can't resist, but stir it up so that he can't avoid it. Like that's the only way. Because I tried just breaking it up and putting it on the wet food and eat around it.
Yeah.
He's such a little butt. But so the funny thing is Celio, apparently lots of people rave about it. They're like, wow, this is amazing. Like my dog is so much different. It only takes like 14 minutes. And all of a sudden my dog is just being chill. But then other people are like, don't do it. The dog will just die. And
why is it so extreme?
I don't know. And then the worst part is, so then I look into it and like all of the medical information is like, Celio has no known side effects. And then other people are like, yeah, unless your dog just fucking dies. And I'm sitting here like, I don't want my dog to just fucking die. Wow. And it's like, well, that might happen. Trust me, I'm a person with no profile picture on a message board you don't subscribe to. And I'm like, what do I do?
Oh God.
Well, in the medical profession sucks for practitioners. I mean, the pay is nice, but like it sucks. There's a lot of that going around though. Like I have the Nextdoor app, where you could talk to people in your neighborhood. And somebody was like looking for a vet and somebody else suggested my vet. who I like my vet quite a bit. In fact, last show I had talked about how I was pretty frustrated because they told me they had to do more tooth extractions than they thought, and they need all that lab work. You know what? I made a mistake, and I assumed it was going to be a lot because they had a low end estimate and a high end estimate. And I assumed that the high end estimate had been met by all the extra tooth extractions. And then when they said we also need lab work and stuff, I was like, oh my God, is it going to be like $1,600? It ended up being $100 less than the highest part of the estimate. So it was actually really not bad. And it was in the price range I was prepared for. Mm-hmm. They're good people. They are, and they do good work. But it's hard because they're like a really busy vet hospital. They have 8 veterinarians on staff. So if you call and you're like, my dog is sick, they could be like, well, if you're okay with seeing a different vet than your normal one, we can see him in, an hour.
Yeah.
If it's not an emergency, if it's an emergency, they'll either see you then or they'll reference you to the hospital, the emergency, the pet med hospital or whatever it's called. So anyway, so people are like, yeah, that place is great. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm about to like say, yeah, that place is great. And then under I just see somebody says, took my dog in for a routine tooth cleaning, came home and died a week later. What? But then the people start prodding them like, what? And then they're like, well, my dog came back and was never really the same, acted weird, had nasal problems from then on, and then died shortly after. And I'm like, okay. I mean, that's scary. But I mean, it's like, I have a lot of people that I care about and I respect very much who have had loved ones die, and they wholeheartedly blame the hospital. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm trying not to be a bastard, but like it wasn't malpractice.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because if it was, lawyers would be doing stuff. But when they called lawyers, they looked at everything and went, sorry.
Yeah.
It's the fact is, like, the hospital, it sucks, like you go to the hospital and people are dying there. Mm-hmm. And the least reasonable person in the world is going to be the person who's just lost or is currently losing their loved one. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be reasonable. They're going to be like, you didn't do enough. And it's like, well, clearly they died. I didn't do enough. I guess I should have, climbed inside of them and breathed for them. I don't know. Like, it's like, you can only do so much. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. But that's why I do have a great deal of respect for medical professionals, because I don't think I could stomach it. Losing patients and stuff.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I think that alone, that's so much courage, to be like, I care about helping people so much that I will watch people die and then get up the next day and be like, all right, I got to go help people more.
Yeah. I don't like have enough confidence in myself to be like, I could keep the people alive that could be kept alive.
Yeah.
Like, and then you got to like tell people that the people they love died, and I don't want to do that.
That's when you use your PTO and just be like, other doctor will tell you that they're dead.
Michelle, it seems like you use paid time off every afternoon for a couple of hours. What's up? Like, oh, I just don't want,
Okay, that sounds like you might be a really bad doctor. That's an awful lot of dead patients. And at the same time every day?
I just kill them at a certain time. I like schedules.
You're like, if doctors can choose to wait 1 extra minute before they pull a baby out so they have an interesting time of birth, then what am I doing wrong? This is a new skit of the program that I call Sociopath Michelle. Everybody loves Sociopath Michelle. Oh, God. They just die every day at 1:30, right after my cucumber sandwich. Have you ever, I'm all over the place today, but, to be frank, and I'm happy to say this, it's been an uneventful week, and I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm going to take that with joy. But you know what I did yesterday, or Monday? I made a cucumber sandwich for the first time.
Oh.
Have you ever made a cucumber sandwich?
Like with cucumber? And bread?
No, with raw steak and motor oil.
Yeah, I've made a cucumber sandwich before.
What was your cucumber sandwich recipe?
I don't know. It was like cucumbers, And maybe there was some like butter or margarine, and then I don't remember.
Huh. Okay, so I made cucumber sandwiches because I was at the grocery store and I realized I've always wanted to have one.
Uh-huh.
And I was at the grocery store. And cucumber sandwiches require things that I literally never have. It requires white bread. I mean, traditional cucumber sandwiches. It requires white bread. It requires cucumbers, and it requires sour cream. Or not sour cream, cream cheese.
Oh, okay.
And I never keep those things in the house. So I went and got all of those things. And the super hyper traditional English cucumber sandwich is you take your white bread, you cut off the crusts. For whatever reason, you cut off the crusts. Then you
it's too much flavor.
It's too much flavor for the Brits, yeah. Then you take the cream cheese, the cream cheese, and you mix it with a little bit of mayonnaise, like 8 ounces of cream cheese, 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. So it's just a little bit of mayonnaise. And then you add fresh cut chives, about a tablespoon, and about 2 tablespoons of fresh cut dill.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and then you stir it all up real good. And then you put a thin layer on both sides of the sandwich, and then a thin layer of cucumber on the bread. And then you put it together and cut it into 3. This is the traditional way.
Like,
yeah, just sticks. Just sticks. And I will say, so once I got over how mortified I was by how wasteful it was to actually cut the crusts off, because you can't just cut the crust, you got to cut them into squares basically. Or, inside of the crust. So like, I was just like mortified by how much sandwich I was losing making these things. Sorry.
Did you eat the crust?
I did, but that was because I was feeling guilty that there was so much over there in the pile plate. But I actually like was dipping the crust in the goo, like the sandwich goo. It was very good. But these are meant to be like incredibly light, decadent sandwiches for tea time and stuff like that. And I just always wanted to try one. So, but then after I ate 2 of them, and I was like, but it was lunch. It was like dinner time. I was like, I'm going to need more cucumber sandwiches, or I'm going to need to eat something else. Like this is really,
there's like nothing going on in there.
Then I just made one with like the crust on, just like a normal sandwich. I was like, let's just rub some of this stuff on, and I start eating. I was like, this is fucking delicious. It really is good, and the dill makes perfect sense because dill and cucumber, dill and pickles, and but it was really good. So I highly recommend. Don't do it entirely traditional, but if you feel like trying something different, take some cream cheese, some mayo, some dill, and some chives. You just stir it up and put it on bread and then put cucumber slices on it. It was really nice. Ideally on white bread. I haven't tried it on. I did do it on white bread because that's what it said. And also I had a loaf of white bread because I bought white bread for the recipe. Again, another thing I never keep in the house. Even when I'm keeping bread, I don't really like white bread very much. Although every now and then, I think I've talked about this before, but like every now and then I get a wild hair up my ass that I have to have like a grilled cheese like I am a child. Like, because when I make a grilled, let me tell you something, Michelle. After being in lockdown for 3 months, I know how to make a grilled cheese. I have become very good at it. For the first 4 weeks, I ate a grilled cheese like every other day. To be honest, the idea of eating a grilled cheese right now sounds really disgusting. And I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh God, no. I just ate so many grilled cheeses, and I would like try a million things. I tried it with butter. I tried it with mayo. I tried it with olive oil. I did all these different things. But let me tell you something. I don't remember my point was about grilled cheese. No, I do. So when I make a grilled cheese now, generally my move is you take a piece of bread and you put cheese on it. No, you take a piece of bread and I like to put like the really thinly sliced deli cheese, like the crazy thinly sliced deli cheese, one slice there, and then pile up some mixed, ground cheese, shredded cheese.
Okay.
And then you put it on the stove in a pan and you cover it so that it starts to melt, and then you flip it and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes I just get this wild hair up my butt that I just want to grill cheese exactly the way my mom made it for me when I was a little kid. So I'm like, okay, it's got to be like Wonder Bread, and it's got to be American cheese slices, and just you throw a pat of butter onto the stove, onto the pan, and then just put it on there and just do it. And sometimes that is just incredible. Now I'm thinking that might have to be what I have for dinner, except I have no American cheese in the house because why would I?
Because
So
it's good.
I don't hate American cheese. Do you hate American cheese?
No,
Do you
I
hate
really
America?
I don't know, but I like American cheese.
It's fine. I don't hate it.
I like most cheeses. I don't like blue cheese.
Me neither.
It's kind of gross, and I don't even mean because it's gross. I just mean I think it tastes kind of gross. And then there's another cheese that I had recently. And I was like, wow, I really don't like this. Oh, I don't like Swiss cheese.
You don't like Swiss cheese? That's
No,
weird.
it's kind of like hard, and I don't like it. So
What's your top cheese?
I like pepper jack cheese and that kind of stuff.
That's the right answer. Pepper jack's good.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for provolone.
Provolone's good.
Yeah. In fact, the grilled cheese I made the most was just all white cheeses. It was just provolone, a thin slice of provolone, and then just mozzarella just sprinkled all over it, and it would just be this like impossibly stretchy grilled cheese sandwich. Man, maybe I will have grilled cheese for dinner.
What's good with grilled cheese if you have mozzarella? And you can have like lots of pesto, and then you put pesto in it instead of like butter or something, and you get a pesto grilled cheese, but with also maybe tomatoes in it and some basil.
This is becoming a big event.
I like when I make grilled cheese, I always put things in it, like mushrooms.
That sounds nice. I don't have any mushrooms.
Sorry.
Why you gotta be like that?
I don't know. But I learned how to make those things with the stuff in them that like that, and they're flat.
A panini?
No. The thing quesadilla.
Oh, you mean the thing on the tortilla?
Yeah.
You didn't know how to make a quesadilla?
No, I just never had before.
Oh.
And then I realized it was really easy, and it's like a grilled cheese.
It's a Mexican grilled cheese, basically.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, Rick taught me how to make a quesadilla using two tortillas. Mm-hmm. It was like super hard to flip, but the result was you got a gargantuan quesadilla, so it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can't even tell you how many times I was like panicking to clean up the stove because I had gotten cheese everywhere from making quesadillas when I was a kid. And I'd always overstuff it. I'd be like, I'm going to put egg in it and bacon and and then all of a sudden I'm like, this is like, maybe I should be making a burrito.
Yeah.
maybe that's what my heart of hearts is trying to tell me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's been a lot of cooking going on thanks to the Rona.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now I really do want grilled cheeses. I think I'm just going to make grilled cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds like the wildlife out there is pretty nice.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on with some birds talking to each other. So.
Talking shit.
Quite possibly.
I would assume. I mean, what else would they be talking about? So, but yeah, I'm gonna say overall, other than Henwolf slowly recovering, and one of the big bummers, since she's a large older dog, her bladder isn't the best. You know, I definitely like let her out as often as I can. She's never had any like accidents in her crate or anything, and she's never had a full blown accident. The worst she has is she like pees a little while she's asleep on rare occasions. But after surgeries, it happens. Like you have to watch her because her bladder's kind of loose from it. So that's been hard, but it's finally over. It's been over a day now since she had like a little puddle from where she was sleeping. I know, and like I don't get mad at her. I'm just frustrated because like I gotta go clean that again. Like I'm just like trying to keep everything clean and keep everything okay. And my dogs are shockingly low maintenance in general. I mean, Chicano gets needy, but he doesn't like tear the house up or pee in the house or anything like that. So yeah, I'm really nervous about what'll happen the day I get my third dog. I mean, total, not in the house, but the day that I get, because Henwolf is my first dog and Chicano is my second. When I get my third dog, because I've been so spoiled by two dogs that like never have accidents and never bite, never growl. So it's like, I don't know if I can keep that going forever.
You know, I think you'd be surprised. I bet you're just a really good dog owner and you'll just have really good dogs.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I know that if and when I adopt a new dog, it's going to be another dog, probably more than 4 years old, that, is chill and needs a place and nobody wants them because everybody's stupid. And so I get to win and get the good dog. While everybody else is like, I want this puppy that bit a baby. I'm stupid. And I'll be like, I want this old dog that's seen some shit. This dog knows things. This dog's paid some taxes. But so when are we going to get you some dogs? I think it's time.
No,
I think it's time.
No, not until I live in the forest, in the woods, in the mountains.
I like how it's not live in the country; it's live in the forest. It's live in the woods.
I want to don't want to see anybody. My dog is gonna hunt with me or hunt for me because I don't want to hunt. I was
gonna say hunt with me. What are you talking about?
You go do it.
You're gonna hunt for wild onions.
Yeah, and mushrooms. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Why would your mind go to hunting first?
I don't know, because I'm living off the land.
Oh yeah. Is that when you would give up vegetarianism? Because you'd be like, I gotta live off of what I can catch.
I think I would try first to be a vegetarian. I'd be like, I'm just gonna grow things. And then when I almost died, I'd be like, okay, I gotta eat meat.
Time to eat me some squirrels.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably could get by. I mean, if you only want to live off the land, yeah, it might be a little
hard.
Tough. It can take a full acre to feed one person.
That's a lot of acre.
Sometimes. I mean, I don't know, if you got some good corn growing and potatoes, which are not hard to grow, carrots. I think you probably grow kale.
I guess.
Well, but kale's nutritious. I'm not just saying it because you're basic.
Can I grow something that's can I grow spinach instead?
I don't know.
That's pretty close to kale. I mean, nutrition wise.
It's pretty far off compared to kale.
But I'm just gonna grow spinach anyway. I don't care.
Screw you. I don't do what you tell me.
I mean, I guess I could just be that person who goes to the grocery store every month and I just stock up on things that I can't grow, just get some beans and.
I mean, that's what you do now. It's just that what you can't grow is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just walk in there and you get a block of provolone cheese. You're like, the provolone tree just ain't doing it. I tried planting a grilled cheese tree. It just didn't take. I think the soil's rotten. But I welcome the inevitable mountain man, Michelle, with open arms.
Well, thanks.
So let's delve into this just a little bit more because we have a little bit of time left. What is the ideal Michelle in the middle of nowhere scenario?
I don't really know. I'll live in a place. It's maybe a house and I don't know, just a place and there's not a lot of people. And then I don't know. That's all I got.
Are you going to build a house out of gingerbread so you can attract local children?
You can't do that because it's not going to last that long enough. I think gingerbread probably wouldn't make it past a rainstorm, especially not if you. What am I putting it together with?
What if it was just gingerbread siding?
It's going to be gross.
Yeah, it gets soggy pretty quick.
Yeah, and then things would just eat it. My house would just be ants.
But then that's how you get your food.
Oh, that's so cool. I just continuously put out candy on my house, so my house is just black and moving all the time. Oh, awesome. Because I'm not attracting kids. I just want ants on my house.
Why?
Because it would be the scariest thing in the world if somebody was happened upon my house and they're just what is that? What's holding that house up? And then they get closer and they're just ants. And then they just run away. It's gonna be great.
It's what we call the writhing cottage. It's just a whole thing.
Man, I'm gonna be famous.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowисawkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.